Let's play the game. See if I can remember what's going on. Oh, and I get to sit through this lovely loading screen, which I had mostly forgotten about too. Is there a toggle for that in Slay the Spire? I thought they just got rid of all the beta art, but I would believe that there's a toggle for it. You can just like, no, I'd rather have all of the placeholder, one person in paint beta art. All one guy mimicking his own idea of noises. That's for sure, for sure. That would be really cool. When you win a run, you get the beta toggle for that deck. Wow, I did not know that. In System Shock 2, there are sound files for debugging the enemy AI. Turn them on and the enemies will speak with a dev's voice saying things like enemy seen, enemy lost, searching, patrolling. Ooh, that's cool. Well, I have no idea where I am, but I am very clearly standing next to a 5-star logic grid. So I guess I know what I'm doing. Oh. No. I remember that puzzle. I may never come back to that puzzle. I could not for the life of me figure out how to actually do anything here. All of the things I tried, none of them worked. None of this actually made sense to put together. Especially because I can't fully solve the puzzle. So I know that there's stuff that I don't know here. And I don't know what I do know. Like this puzzle was such a mistake. I have fresh eyes now. I mean, I guess so. I guess so. But there were so many different like pieces of logic that I needed to put together in order for this to make sense. And a lot of it was like, trial and error for things to see if they worked. And then when they didn't work, ruling them out. Ah, this was such an effort. Oh, no. Let's do something else first. Anything else. I don't know what else we're doing, but just anything else. Not that. Not right now. Not as the first thing I'm doing in the stream. Save me. All right, where am I going though? How do I get out of here? Is there a way to go more up from here? Not there. Is there a way to go more up from here that doesn't involve fighting against that 5-star? Here we go. That's more up. Bonk. Is there stuff to do here that's not the 5-star? Maybe there's stuff to do here that's not the 5-star. There's stuff outside. How do I get outside? Is outside an option? I feel like if I end up getting out of this maze, there's just going to be further disasters waiting for me. Which, like, maybe that's okay. But also... Hey, look. It's yet another disaster. Don't you just love glass mazes? I don't know that I love glass mazes. I appreciate glass mazes. But I think that appreciation turns rapidly to dismay the longer I spend in a glass maze. Okay, so there's the red one. Where's the green one? There's the green one. Easy peasy. Ah, cool. Look at this. I haven't been up here yet. So if I click this, it's already solved. Oh, good. Oh, maybe I have been up here yet. Somehow I have done some already solved here. That's honestly a surprise. All right, what about these things? Solve the previous puzzle first. Not this one. Not this one. This one. This is where it all begins. More underclued grids. Okay, great. Exactly one symbol per light area. Area numbers must equal region sizes. All right, starting with the underclued grids. Great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So not that. 1, 2, 3, 4. So not that. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here. 5 here. Yep. I remember this trick. I remember a little of what we were doing. Exactly one symbol per light area. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. This has to be part of this or this. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. So not that. 2, 5. So there. 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 3, 4. So now there. There. Here, 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 here. So like that. What does this mean? This doesn't mean anything. This doesn't change anything to how the thing is solved. Like, okay, one of them has to go to this light dot, but it doesn't change the regions that they have access to for the purposes of the underclued grid. Maybe we'll see another one with, like, 2 white dots. And that changes how I have to do it. No, it's just 1 white dot again. Okay. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. This can't be part of the 5? 2, 3, 4, 5. No, this has to be part of the 6. Okay. Ooh. So a bunch of the 6 range doesn't work because only these can potentially be light for the 6. 5 here. So all the way there. And then everything around this is no-go. Aha! All right, this time the white dot did matter. Does this have to be part of the 4? It can be part of the 4. I guess if the 3 is down here, this has to be part of the 4. 4 goes out to there. This can't be part of the 4. This is cute, actually. This can't be part of the 4 because it would have to touch this one in order to get there. So exactly one more square once you rule out everything that's out of range, because the positioning of the white dot slightly restricts how far the 4 can extend in that direction. All right. All right, I see what you're doing here. Ah, here we go. All right. So this is now, both of these have to be covered, which means the 4 has to be either straight up or straight to the left. There is nothing else the 4 can do here. Because these can't be both in one number region. So the 4 is restricted like that. The 5 then has to go straight out to 1 and then has room for 1 more. Which, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess also to the left of these, right? Okay, so this actually could be like the 5 going out to here or here. But otherwise, we have that. Top says time remaining. No, it's not that kind of puzzle. One more? Oh no. Oh, I think the ones in the center actually can't. Oh, this one can. This one specifically. Because the 5s can go in as well as out. There we go. There we go. One more was really confusing there for a bit. But it was the same trick as before. Well, a similar trick as before. Oh boy. This is 6. This is 6. So the 8 either goes up or right and nowhere else. The 9 then goes the other direction and can go out or in 1. 1, so not to here. This is still okay. Perfect. All right. Well, I am down to 4 puzzles left in order to hit the bonus. I don't know how many puzzles total that is left in Vault of the Vitric, but it's some number of puzzles. Oh, I see. Okay, all right. I know what to do with this. Ah, more stuff. That's fun. Reflect on what you've learned. Oh no. I'm not sure I like reflecting. Okay. What? Okay. All right. We are gonna be doing some work here. Time for some work. Connect all dark cells. This isn't reflection, this is punishment for your crimes. Yes, absolutely. Alright, okay, we can start with this. Connect all dark cells means that anything that is an area region has to be light. This is where we're starting. Anything that is an area region has to be light. That is all the area regions. This is nowhere near as effective as I wanted it to be. I was really hoping for more than this. I wanted this to be better. Okay, can this 8 be an 8 without touching this 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But then this is trapped, so no. So these two have to be touching. Which means this stuff can't be dark. Because it has to connect, and these two have to touch. There's a lot of ABBA going on over here. The game loves ABBA. I didn't know that the Islands of Insight devs were such fans of Eurodance. Alright, so the only rule I have is connect all dark. Once all dark are connected, I just have to follow the symbols that are on the board. I don't have to, like, not make a square or anything like that. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. So not this. Which means this does have to come in. Which means not this, means that. Alright, alright, we're starting. Things have started. This is a start. Can this be dark? Yes. Can this be light? Yes. 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 Can this... Oh, here we go. These. Can these be dark? This one, I think, cannot be dark. Wait. 1, 2, dark. 1, 2, dark. No, this has to be light. This one, though, can also not be dark. Has to be light. Okay. Now what? Is the stream title a feature request? The stream title is a plea for help. But, you know, if you've got an in to the offline restored mod and want to have them change some sound effects, then, yeah, make that happen. Absolutely. All right. If this is dark, that means this is dark. Okay, if this is light, that means these 4 here are also light. Is that okay? Probably. I don't see any problem with that. If this is dark, that means this is dark. These two are dark, so these two are dark. That's given. These two can be dark without necessarily connecting straight down. They could go all the way around. That seems legal here. Huh, the ABBA stuff is very interesting. Because they have to be a color, right? Some color? But I don't necessarily know that they have to be light, dark, whatever. B sure looks like it's connecting through here, doesn't it? And then A can connect around. Like A can connect around the bottom. Or even around the outside if necessary? Yikes. Yikes. Big yikes. Medium yikes. Appropriately sized yikes. The viewpoint numbers... I don't think they need to be dark or light. Because, like, if this is dark, that means 3 of these surroundings are light. Light, 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 for example. But then this can be dark, and then this can be dark, and it can chain off of that. So it doesn't require... Does it include screen wrapping? Screen wrapping is an offline restored thing. There's no screen wrapping in the pyramid. We are safe from screen wrapping here. These twos can be opposite colors, actually. That does work. Like, if this is white, we have, for example, dark, dark, light. This can be light or dark. And then this is just what the opposite. Right? Whatever. Oh. No, these two have to be the same color. Whatever these two are, they have to be the same. Because whatever color this is, we're going to have two of the opposite here, and then the last one is going to be the same, right? So these four contain two of each color. So whatever this is, this has to be the same. These two have to be the same color. What does that tell me about the rest of this? Five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 of 5. 5. Ooh, all 5. All 5 of these have to be the same color. These two are the same color. This is a different color. I mean, I already knew that because 2 in the corner. All right, we're taking this to paint. I figured this was always going to happen, but I have finally determined a reason to do so. I have a grid on. Why do I have a grid on, and how do I get rid of the grid? There we go. Yeah, much better. All right. Paint. Let me show you with what I am working. All right, so here we go. And we're starting with red and blue because I don't know what colors things need to be. I just know that things need to be a color of some kind. That's an appropriate size. All right, so whatever this is, these two are the same, and this is different. These can't be light with dark in the center, but they can be light with light in the center, and they can be dark with light in the center, I think. You're CMYK colorblind, so it's nice to see red and blue. Yeah, I'm red-green colorblind. So anytime there's, like, yellows and greens next to each other, I can't tell the difference. And, there's a lot of shades look kind of muddied to me. So, like, you know, shades of orange that just, like, look brown. It was a joke? Well, I mean, it's legitimate. Like, my colorblindness is really minor, but it is an actual thing. Ah, okay, there you go. Somebody else got your joke better than I did. See, this is my problem, is I take chat too seriously. I take some members of chat too seriously. Brown is a shade of orange? That's heinous. Must have made Lingo rather torturous. Sometimes, actually. Lingo's not good with colors. Alright, we know that these two are the same color, whatever color that is. But I don't know how that relates to the colors over here. Can I determine these? I guess if this is red, this can still be red or blue. If this is blue, this can still be red or blue. Can this be light? If this is light, there's only one more dark in this entire row. Is that legal? Is that possible? Is that doable? Maybe. It's why you can't have brown lights. Really? That is fascinating. That is something I didn't know. This is all one color here, and it doesn't, it maybe matters what color. This is 112, but that, okay, we'll just, it's disconnected enough, so we'll do that. This is all one color. We really don't need to talk about brown noises. That's all right. That's okay. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that at all. Okay, actually, before I do any more here, this cannot be light. If this is light, then everything here has to be light, and these threes can't touch. So this has to be dark. Same here, so this has to be dark. Which means this 3 is here, which means dark, dark. Which means this has to be dark. Okay, great. That helps. Somewhat. Hopefully. Teal and orange. I mean, it looks bad, but I think they're differentiable. Yeah. Like, you can do that. I wouldn't. It's not, it's unadvisable from an aesthetics perspective. Teal and orange lighting are often used for cinematic compositions. What, like together? Doesn't that look gross? I feel like those colors would look gross together. Like, not like I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between them, but they just wouldn't look good. One for highlight and another for rim lighting plus an overhead white. Huh. All right, well, we have a slight improvement in our starting materials here. Oh no. Paint, what have you done? Much better. All right, I'm not sure that I was getting anything out of that. So let's start again with this. If B is red and A is blue, what does that mean? That means this has to connect through here. These have to touch somehow. And I guess if this is dark, it can go up and around rather than needing to go through here. I don't know. I guess my mental picture of it maybe doesn't match what that would actually look like IRL. And then these blues can go around, can also touch. Either way. Both seem possible. Does this have to be red then? Or does this have to be blue? I don't think it has to be blue. I don't think it has to be red either. Regardless of what this is, this satiates it. No, that's not true. If this is red... Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Never mind. Yeah, this does not satiate it. So if this is red, there needs to be a blue somewhere on this line. because this is one red and one blue, and we don't know which one, but that's fine. But if this is blue, then it's satiated. This feels like I ought to be able to do something with this. Like, this ought to be enough to get started somehow. It kind of makes me think that B has to be dark and has to connect up here. But that's not a guarantee here, right? This could be light. And then blue is dark and goes, you know, up and around and connects through here all the way around. Are there any more sight lines that I can use with these colors that would be helpful? This is all one color, whatever color that is. This can be light, but if it's light, the rest of this has to be dark. If this is dark, then it doesn't matter what's on the inside. Oh, these can't be dark! These insides can't be dark. So this has to be light and light, which means this has to be light and light. So this has to be dark. Yes. More progress. Progress is being made. It'll forever bug you that viewpoints count themselves. Sure. These can be dark if this is dark. If these are light, this can be light? Yes. This can't be dark because then it can't connect. So this has to be light, which means this has to be light. So this dark has to come out like this. What else is isolated? These are all the same, but they could still be light or dark. This dark actually needs to come out to here, which doesn't change whether B is light or dark. If B is light... Oh, if B is light, it has to connect all the way through, which seals off this dark in the center. B has to be dark. We did it. We figured something out. Something has been figured out. That has to connect out to here. Alright, alright. This is a start. This can't be light now. This has to be dark. Which means exactly one more in this row is light. Exactly one. Which means the light from the A doesn't connect up and around. A has to connect going down. So this has to be light here, all the way through there. All the way through there. There. Can this be dark? Can this be light? If this is light, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it can't be light. This has to be dark. So that has to connect there and go up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's room for one more dark in this column. Exactly one more. And it can't be this one because dark has to cross here. And it could be like here. It can't be this one because then it would have to go up. So this is light also. Excuse me? Sorry. Oh, exactly one more. No, 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 no. My mistake. My mistake. My mistake. I misread it. Not exactly one more dark. Exactly one more light, and the rest is dark. Which means this has to be light? Because if this were dark, I guess it could be dark with a light here. And then dark, dark, light, dark, dark. But we can't have 3 darks here. So one of these 3 needs to be the light. One of these 2 actually needs to be the light. Either this is the light, or this is the light. This can't be the light. One of these 2 is the light, so the rest are dark. Call that progress. Damn, this is actually moving. I'm kind of surprised. Alright, where does next? This dark has to come out through here. So this has to be dark. This has to be dark. Which means this all has to be dark. The dark has to come through here. And here. One of these 2 needs to be dark. And here. One of these 2 needs to be dark, so this can't be dark. Which means all of these need to be dark. This is... If this is light, then the dark can go around? Yeah, that's legal. Cool. Very cool. This could still be light. This could also still be dark. Can this be light? No. If this is light, one of these 2 has to be dark. So this has to be dark. Which means this has to be dark to connect. Can this be light? Yeah, it could be 1, 2, 3 in the corner here. And then dark on the outside. Are there any other things that kind of seal off sections of the puzzle? This is fine either way. Exactly 2 more dark in this column is interesting. This dark needs to connect out either through here or through here. So there's no guarantee that we have dark up here. This could still be light. Ugh, a lot of options. A lot of options. This could still be light here, as long as there is no more dark in this column. If this is light, 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 does that work? Yes, because then we get dark, light, dark through here. Yeah, that does work, actually. That is okay. Neither of these can be dark, actually. Because this 2 needs to see 2. And if it's up, it's sealed off. And if it's right, it's sealed off. So this needs to be light and light. Does that tell me anything? No. No, it does not. That changes nothing. What is it about the viewpoint numbers? Why does it bug you that the viewpoint numbers count themselves? You think, like, instead of a 5, this should be a 4 and not count whatever's in the center? Is it just like a quality of life thing? Like it changes the math in your head? Because I feel like I have run into that problem a little bit every once in a while, where I forget that the viewpoints see themselves. And then I have to backtrack and be like, oh, actually, this works in this particular way instead. Because they see that many in the 4 directions, and the center isn't in any direction. Okay. Okay. Sure. I don't know, that part of it makes sense to me. That part of it I'm not concerned about. Like, if you consider the viewpoint being the center of the tile, then of course it'll see the tile that it's in. But I do sometimes forget that it can see itself, and that changes, like, the numbering. Oh, actually, this dark here doesn't connect down. This, oh my god, I can't believe I didn't see this earlier. Okay, so all of the dark over here needs to connect out to the dark over here, and it's sealed off. So it has to come up through. Yeah, this has to go through. That has to happen. This can still be sealed off? No, this needs to connect up now. There is no other way for this to go. So this is dark, this is dark, this is dark, this is dark here, like that all the way through. Jeez. Yeah, I was still operating on some previous assumption that allowed things to go multiple directions, but I sealed enough of it off that it has to go through this way. Okay. These two have to be the same color. That's what we decided. This has to be dark, which means this is light and light. And this, only one of these can be dark, and it has to be this one. This now has to be light. If this is dark, this can't be light. This has to be dark. So these have to be light. And now the dark has to go through here. Exactly one more dark in this column. If this was all light, that would be a problem. So it can't be this. This has to be light. Which means all of this has to be light down here. Because it can't connect. Hey, this needs a light here, which means this is already resolved. Which means that connects there, this connects up. This has to be the light. This has to be dark. Well, that's looking a lot more filled in now, isn't it? Good progress, good progress. I feel good about this. Exactly one more dark here. Yeah, I think Ender, not uniquely, but very frequently, is the person that I most expect to be screaming at the screen. Venting loudly in the comfort of their own home. Or wherever it is they're watching the stream. Hamu is a close second, for the record. But Ender is definitely the person I expect most to be just full-on yelling about me missing something. Ender only watches on McDonald's Wi-Fi? Damn. That is maybe the most damning indictment of someone I have ever heard. Alright, only one of these can be dark, and the rest have to be light. Can it be the 2? Yes. If the 2 is light, this can't be dark. So this can't be the dark, the 1 dark. Because then we have 3 light here. Which means this goes up there. This now cannot be the dark, because then we have 3 light in a row here. So this has to be light, which means this has to connect through there. Yeah, it's the same thing as over here. It needs to be one of these 2 doing the thing. How do we resolve this? Oh, with this bad boy. This little son of a gun. Den of Sinners? The McDonald's play place? Yeah, who knows what they get up to in that ball pit. Alright. If we can only have 2 light, this can't be one of them. Because if this is light, everything behind it is light. This has to be dark. Which means this has to be light. If this is light, everything behind it is light. Which is illegal. This has to be dark. Which means this and this are light. Which means that's dark. This cannot be light now. Because that would mean this would have to be light. So this has to be dark. Yo! Does American Macas typically have ball pits? Not for a long time now. I cannot remember the last time I saw a ball pit in a McDonald's. It was probably like early 2000s is the last time I have seen a ball pit in a McDonald's. $20 still available in Vault of the Vitric. Oh boy. $20 puzzles still available in Vault of the Vitric. Well, I see 3 here, so let's go do that, I suppose. Oh, big puzzles. Ladies and gentlemen, big puzzles. Not sure enough reflection / atonement has happened. Fair. Alright, so these can't touch. And I cannot do dark, light, dark. So this has to be light. Dark, light cannot be dark. Here also. Cannot do dark, light, dark. This is dark, so this has to be dark. Cannot do dark, light, dark. This is light. This is dark here. That's fine. These A's need to go around the top and not touch the B's. Which means that. This can't touch here. Or here. That needs to be light then. Connect all dark cells. Here we go. There's no other C. All right. But this needs to come out to at least here. Dark, light, dark, not allowed. And these can't touch. Are there more Bs to discuss? No. Dark, light, dark, not allowed. This has to be light. Dark, light, dark, not allowed. That connects. This has to come out. This does not have to come out. Dark, light, dark, not allowed. Dark, light, dark, not allowed. Dark, light, dark. Okay. Things continue to occur in a variety of ways. Dark, light, dark. Wait, can these touch? If these touch, this would have to... No, this has to be dark. Dark, light, dark. Okay, so because of this, we have to go light here. Because of this, we have to go light here. Because of this, we have to go light here. Because of these, we have to go dark here. And then dark has to connect, so this has to come out. Which means dark here. All right, what else does this mean for us? If this is dark, that would be dark, light, dark. So this has to be light. This has to be connected. This has to be symmetric. Great. This has to be dark. Yeah. Dark, light, dark. Dark, light, light. Follow the rules. Dark, light, light. Always and forever. This is dark, so this has to be dark. Now what? Now, ladies, gentlemen, and everything in between. What? What indeed? Is this 5 restricted? This 5 is at least a little restricted. There's only 3 available here, so 4, 5 is necessary. This 7 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it has to have this at least. Can these 6s not touch? Like if this were a 6, and then this were like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think these 6s have to touch. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know, 6, 6, whatever. But then this is dark, this is dark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, no, no. These 6s have to touch. I love it when the 6s touch. This 6... Oh. Is resolved. Love that for me. This 5 now needs to go out to here at least. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is required. Dark, light, light. This 7 now is in a little bit slightly more dire strait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This 7... Oh, is resolved. Dark, light, light. This has to go up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This has to go there. These cannot be light, so this has to be dark. This has to be dark. Can this be light? No. 3, 4, 5, 6. Great. Did you hear about 7? Turns out he was a 6 offender. I have opinions about this, and I'm not exactly sure what they are. So I guess I'll let you know. Dark, light, light. And if this is light, that's illegal. So this is dark? Great. Heard he ate 9. 7s and 9s are different species. That's not cannibalism, it's just murder. Can this be light or dark? I feel like this could be anything. Oh no, it can't be dark. Haha, I figured it out. It can't be dark. Dark, light, light. This needs to come out. Dark, light, light. The 5s are now touching. Great. This needs to connect here, which means this needs to be dark. Fantastic. Good work, everybody. Is it murder if it's not your own species? Sure. Yeah, you can murder anything as long as it's sapient. I'm assuming 9s are intelligent. They don't have to be. There needs to be dark up here, so this has to be dark through there. There's got to be dark stuff going on in this direction. Seven just needs to eat their vegetables. Are you implying that 9 is a vegetable? Was the 9 in a coma? All of this numerical lore that I was unfamiliar with. Who knew? You've lost the thread. It's a lot to keep track of. That's fair. All right. There's the joke. I'm okay with this one, Earl. Is that offensive? Is referring to people in comas as vegetables offensive? I guess you don't have to be worried about offending vegetables. And people in comas have other concerns. Like, if I was in a coma, would I want to be called a vegetable? Probably not. But also, if I was in a coma, would I want anything? Hard to say. Like, it feels like it ought to be offensive, right? It feels like a slur. It's got the vibe of a slur. But also, getting offended on the behalf of people who aren't offended is not a good look either. Kangaroo shekels? What the hell are you talking about? Be clear that the subject are VeggieTales. Okay, well then they are actual vegetables, I suppose. Calling someone a vegetable is kind of dehumanizing. No, definitely. It definitely is. I guess the question is dehumanizing people in comas okay? And I guess if I phrase it that way, the answer is probably not. So I think we have landed on the correct conclusion. I still haven't figured out what's going on here, though. Got sick of hearing dollary dues. Oh, sure. Okay. Okay. All right. Kangaroo shekels. I guess. That's just so elaborate. I'm sorry, you did what, Cyber Benny? The hell? I'm not sure if I want to know more about this subject. I think I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it as uncertain. Okay, so these 6s have to connect. I don't know where I'm going here. I feel like there ought to be something more obvious in terms of how stuff is connecting here. But I don't... not sure. Makes you think of struck nuts. Yeah, I guess. Sure. Let's see. For each of these, we can't have dark on either side of them, is the other thing that's going on here, right? So it can't be dark, dark. If this is dark, this would have to be light. Also, this would have to be like dark, dark, dark. I'm gonna take that to paint real quick. Go back to correct colors. If this is dark, then we have to go like this, which means we have to go here and here. So this has to come out to here, which means this has to come out to here, which means these two can't touch. So this is sealed off. Okay, so this is light. If this is dark, 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 then we have the same problem. So this is light. Nailed it. Currency isn't quite as worthless as the ruble. There's a lot of currencies out there with wildly disparate, exchange rates and stuff. And I don't have a good sense of what is worth more or less than any other currency, other than how they relate to the dollar. Like, I know vaguely where yens are relative to the dollar. I know vaguely where shekels are relative to the dollar. I know vaguely where euros or pounds are relative to the dollar. But there's definitely some money, some currencies where I'm just like, they're up or they're down, but I don't know by how much or even by what order of magnitude. All right, this is good. Light, light. So this can't be part of the 6. This can't be part of any of the 4s. So this has to be dark. Oh, okay. And is that coming out through here or through here? Something needs to go through here. This can't all be light. So that's definitely coming through here. If something is coming through here at all, it needs to come through both of these. But it doesn't need to come through both of those, because it could still go around. Banana. We're playing Donkey Kong Bonanza. Dude, the voice clips from that game are so wild. Jordanian dinar is broken up into 1,000 instead of 100 because cheap Middle Eastern country for the most part, but has oil money. Okay. Donkey Kong 64? Does that also have banana voice clips? Because the banana voice clip in DK Bonanza is one for the ages, I would say. All right, one of these two at least needs to be dark. What does that mean? The Argentinian peso. Yeah, like How different is the Argentinian peso from any of the other pesos? I guess probably as different as Canadian dollars and Australian dollars are from each other. There's a lot of different dollars out there. I guess there's probably a lot of different pesos. These 4s are separated. Yeah, there's no way for the 4s to touch. 5s and the 6s are touching. So we have 4 distinct regions up here. This has to connect up to here, but I don't know whether it goes through here or through here. Could be either. Like, the 4 could be 1, 2, 3, 4, for example. No, it can't, because then this would be... If this is sealed off, right? If this is light, we have to have dark, dark. The dark comes out. Dark, light, hang on. Paint! That's enough steps, we're going to paint! Alright, if this is light, just for the sake of argument, now we have to have dark here and here, which means dark, light, light. And this has to come out to here, and here, and here. What else does this mean? Dark, light, light. So that is the 4. This has to connect to here. Dark, light, light. This is blocked, so this has to go through here. This needs to connect up through one of these 2 spaces. Here. 2 of these 3 need to be light. Could be light, light, or light, light, or light, light, for that matter. Any of those are okay. I guess it can't be light, light, can it? Because that would be dark, light, dark. So this needs to be light in this scenario. This needs to be light, light now. Dark, 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 light, light. Really old, deep-seated, probably slightly racist tendency to think of pesos valued to pennies because you're Arizonian. And Mexican pesos are low. Sure. 1 Mexican peso is 82 Argentinian pesos. Wow. This has to be dark. So that's now connected. This cannot be light here. It has to be light here. Likewise, this has to be light here. And that's a solution. We're free of that puzzle specifically. 19 puzzles still available in Vault of the Vitric. Oh, it's big! All dark regions have area 3. I can work with this. I can work with this. So this is dark here, so that's dark there, that's area 3. This is area 2, fully resolved. 1, 2, or 3. One of these 3 is dark. These can't touch. Area 3. This has to come out. These can't touch now. That has to come out. That is 3 there. This has to come out. Easy. This can't touch here, so it has to go there. That has to come out. That has to be sealed off. These can't touch, so that has to go there. The 5 is complete. The 2 has to come out. These can't touch here, so it has to go there. Easy. So far. Easy so far. Oh no. Now comes the hard part. Now we have to connect into other things. Dang, it got hard. Oh, no, not yet. Not yet. It's not hard yet. That has to happen. Okay, now is the hard part. Now is the hard part. These can't touch. The A can be sealed off. These can touch, these two? How is this D connecting to this D? Down and around? Through the 6? No. So maybe this is light? Yeah, it can't be through the 6. And there's no other way for it to go. So this D has to go down and around the 6. Okay, so that's dark here. That comes through here. These can't touch. That's 3. That has to come out. This has to go through here. Still has to come out. That's 3. These can't touch. This still has to come out. That has to come out. This has to come out and go up. Well, it might go around, actually. Around is also legal. Is this puzzle shaped like the world map? Oh my god, it is. Oh my god, it is. With different puzzle types representing each different section? That's so cool. I mean, I don't know what's happening up here. I think that's just for the sake of the puzzle. But, yeah, I think you're right. It's only 4 different mechanics. So it's not, like, exact. But, you know, we do have symmetry over here in region 4. The viewpoints are a little weird. But, like, the region numbers make sense. The area, the letters make sense for where they're positioned. The thing with the big barrier? Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, this is still going around, which means this is dark here for the E. So the E can't touch this thing. D is still going all the way around here. This can't touch here, so that has to go there. This is going there, so there. That has to come out. 5, 6. This now has to go through here. So, like this. This can't be dark, has to be light. This has to be that. This has to be light. This has to come out there. This has to go around then. This definitely cannot connect here. No, definitely cannot connect there, so it has to connect there. Which means that's there. And there. And there. Which means these 3 dark can't connect to each other. That goes up, that goes down. Neat. That connects there, so now these can't connect, so that's light. So that's dark. That goes out here, and we've done it. We've done it. The D's are almost there. That happens there, that goes there. Almost done it. That needs to come up. If this is dark, this is screwed, so this has to be light, which means that can't connect. Okay, now we've done it. Now it just needs to be sealed off to make sure it doesn't touch any of the rest of the letters. Yeah, I think that's what Ender was getting at, Cryptomancer. I think it is a meta map. The viewpoint numbers don't quite track because you see viewpoints in a lot of different places. But the area numbers make sense, the letters make sense, and the symmetricals kind of make sense. This is where spirals were in the meta map. But putting symmetricals here makes as much sense as anything else. That needs one of these two, so not that. This needs one of these two, which doesn't help. This needs one of these three, which doesn't help. One of these two needs to be light, but we don't know which. Each dark 3 represents a matchbox. I don't think this is quite as detailed as the lake and the witness, right? I don't think there's, you know, Doritos that represent the Dorito puzzles, but what else here? What else here? If this is dark, this is light, which means dark, dark, which is illegal. So which means light in the center. Yep. That's got to be dark, which means that can't connect, which means that does that, which means that does that. And comes up. That can't connect, so that's dark. Oh! The 5! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dark. Well, we have made our inroads into the viewpoint region. This is dark here. Light, light, dark, dark, light, light. C doesn't need to go anywhere. You had a perpetually online moment today. I am so sorry. This 2 is resolved somehow. I'm not ready to think about viewpoints yet. I'm trying to resolve this stuff. This does seem like the order of the solves, though, kind of put you from region to region. Like, you go up here, and then you go around and through, and then over to here, and then up to the viewpoints, which also, like, I really like the kind of directed solve like that. That's really good. This can't be light, can it? Yeah, no. If that's dark, then this is dark, which means that's dark and this is dark, which means those are not connected, which means that's dark and those aren't connected. And that goes here, there, nailed it. This is a problem. Something is wrong. Oh no. Two, 3, 4, 5. Ah, I see the problem. That was the problem. I don't know why that was... there was a dark in a region that was only too large. It just needed to be 3. It just needed to be 3, and that was the problem. Figured it out. Everything is okay. It wasn't? What do you mean it wasn't? Was it next to another dark? Did I miss it? Was it not wrong and I just, like, lied to myself about it? Was this all correct the entire time and I just didn't realize it was correct? played myself. All right, well, we ended up in a correct state regardless, so I guess it's fine. One, two, three, four at minimum. That can't connect. That's dark. That comes out. This needs one more. Those connect. That is exact. That needs to come out there. This can no longer go up. This needs to be figured out. That's so funny. I guess I looked at it and I thought that this was an empty tile rather than a dark tile. Or I thought this was a light tile or something. Like I saw the dark here and it to me looked like it was one dark next to an empty tile with nothing else there. I don't know why that's so weird. All right. Yeah, I'll take a look at the screenshot. Sure. I'll believe you. This is one of those things that, like, I'm going to go back to the VOD and be like, what was I thinking? Why was I... But... Yeah. Alright, now what are we doing up here? This does need to be figured out in some way or another. This 4. This 2? Dark? Light, light, maybe? Dark? Light? If this is dark, it's light, light. If this is dark, it's light. So regardless, this is light. Which means one of these two is dark, which means this is light. Which means this is dark, dark. Which means this is light. If this is dark, then this is light. Then this is dark. If this is dark, then this is light, then this is dark, which means this B is screwed. So this has to be light, this has to be dark. I looked at NBN. N? Like a viewpoint. Oh, yeah. Nothing. Ah, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, okay. No, I only saw the blank to the right of it. I think the blank to the left of it, it registered to me as like a non-tile spot or something. I don't know. Weird. Confusing. All right, so this 4 now. Is it the 4? I really wish I could scroll in, like zoom in on part of the puzzle. But the fixed viewpoint is certainly fixed. It cannot go 2 down. The most it can go down is 1, so it has to go at least out to there. One of these two must be dark. Could be dark, 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 and then dark here. Or it could be dark here, and then light, light. Regardless, this has to be dark? This has to be dark regardless because of the C. If this is light, this has to be dark. If this is dark, this is light. This has to be dark. This is light. This has to be dark. That feels like a solve, actually. Light here feels like a solve, but maybe we'll take it to paint to be sure. Light here means dark, dark, dark. Means light, means dark, means light, means dark. Means dark, 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 dark. What is wrong with this? Is something wrong with this? Nothing is wrong with this. Okay. Heck yeah. Okay, I like these puzzles. These puzzles are way more fun than the Underclued grids. Underclued grid 5-star is just like, what am I doing? Huh? Alright, all dark cells connect and all light cells connect. That is a lot of things to connect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is light. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is dark. That needs to come out. This needs to come out. This needs to come out. This needs to come out. Now this needs to come out, as does this. This 5 is now limited to 3 going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 7 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This 4 is fine. Let's see. This 6 cannot connect here. This 11 is interesting. This 8 and this 7 can't touch. So this 11 and this 7 can't touch. Alright, see you, Rural. Thanks for dropping by. The most the 6 can get going down is 4. So it needs 5, 6. Probably do something similar out here. This 8 can get 6 up and down. But that doesn't limit it in the ways that I want it to be limited. Yeah, we need to get some light down here, huh? That eventually needs to work its way back up. And likewise, we need to get some dark up here that works its way back down. Like, there needs to be at least one dark between this 6 and 5, right? Which means that dark has to come out through these 2 spots. This 8 and 7 can't touch, so the most the 8 can get going right is 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's illegal. There has to be a dark in between these 2. Which has to come out through here. Now this 8 is restricted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's fully done, is what that is. That's great. This needs light there. which means that's dark. Because there needs to be dark here somewhere. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looking good. Looking good. I don't think I have a similar place down here where I know there needs to be a light cell. This is room for a lot. No, there does need to be a light cell somewhere here. But that could come out either of these two ways, so it's still not sufficiently restricted. Needs more restrictions. You heard it here first, kids. Light cells need more restrictions. If only the whites were more restricted, many of my problems would be solved. You need more restrictions. Rude. I don't know if that's more or less rude than what I said. All the spicy things being said on stream today. Yeah, nobody clips me anyway. It's not like I'm gonna go viral for any of this. There's like, you know, 5 of you in chat, and my clips don't get traction regardless. Doesn't matter what I say. I could say things like, well, I'm not gonna say them, but it wouldn't matter. You gonna make me go viral for saying that whites need restrictions? You know what? If you manage to pull that off, more power to you. If the puzzle gamer if the puzzle gamer becomes an internet sensation. 7 views? Yeah, I have a couple of my clips are in double digits. So, you know, I know that I'm getting some traction on the internet. Kind of a big deal on the internet. But, you know, like a medium-sized big deal. Not like a big deal, right? I'm like, you know that phrase, like a medium fish in a small pond? I'm like that, but scaled down several orders of magnitude. Like a much, much smaller fish in a much, much smaller pond. You know, I like the puzzles where there's like 18 different things going on at a time. Because this puzzle, there's only like 3 things going on, which means that each of the 3 things have to be hard. Have to be hard to spot what the next thing is. Whereas if there's 18 things going on, it's more about keeping all of the different restrictions in mind, and you can usually find a way to progress from one thing to the next. But this means it's harder to break into any one of those things. There's so many small fish on Twitch that I'm easily in the top 10%. I'm in the top 1%? 1.4%? Something like that. Definitely single digits. I think it's like top 1 or 2% of streamers, which says a lot about the number of people that stream on Twitch. This is light. And this is dark. Does that mean anything for me? Not really. Oh, none of this can be dark, though. Progress. Maybe. Something resembling progress. Where do we go from here? Where are my next dots? I feel like this 11 ought to be giving me more information than it has. I should be able to do something with it. I guess it stops here. And it stops here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 required? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 10, 11, no. Nope. This is the checkerboard rule set? It is the checkerboard rule set, yes. I keep thinking about the outside border connection, and I forget that you can't do checkers as well. But yes, you can't do checkers, so this can't be dark. Ah, which means that. Thank you. Thank you for that reminder. I don't know how long it would have taken me to remember that that was one of the rules. One of two important lemmas. If there's two of them, would they be called dilemmas? Probably bilemmas. But I'm not sure if that's two lemmas or every other lemma. Now this is either light dark or light dark. Can this be dark? It can. Yeah, it can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means that's guaranteed. Intriguing. Light here means dark, dark, dark. Light here means dark, dark, dark. But it could also be dark, dark, and then down or across or something. Yeah. A lot of options. Burr, burr, burr. Pew, pew. This still has to come out, but it's not clear whether it has to go up. It could be down, right? Like this could be dark and then it goes down and up and around. Does this need to be dark? No. If it was dark, that would give me a lot of information. But no, it doesn't need to be dark. How does this 7 look? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So gotta go up or down 1. But there's a lot of room for ups or downs. How does this 8 look? No more than 1 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I do not have the information I am looking for. We require additional Vespian gas. And by Vespian gas, I mean information. These dark cells need to come out through here somehow. Here or here. Doesn't really tell me anything, though, because we already knew that the 8 and the 7 can't connect. Which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the most this 7 can get going left. 6, 7. Which means this has to come out here. Which means that. Okay, so this has to go down 1 more. This 8 now is pretty heavily restricted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gotta go there. Mr. 3, what have you to say for yourself now? Really? Well, okay. That alibi is airtight. One of these two is still dark, but that doesn't mean anything. One of these two is still dark. If one of these two is dark, then this one is definitely dark. Do we need to have dark over here? We might. For this 7? I guess the 7 could still go all the way up. 5, 6. The dark doesn't necessarily extend here. Because that would be real restrictive for this 11. As is, this 11 feels real restricted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Could be dark around here. Doesn't have to be, but could. I think if this dark extends to the left, then like this tile exactly could be either dark or light, and it wouldn't make a difference either way. Which makes me think maybe this dark doesn't extend to the left. But I guess I don't know for sure. Still don't know for sure. This 4 could just go anywhere. Absolutely anywhere. No restrictions. This is now... No, this could still connect to the light up here. If this goes all the way left... Oh, that could actually seal off the light up here. I guess it depends on whether or not this is light or dark. One of these two must be. But this being dark definitely gives the light a lot more freedom. There's a light here. This 4 can't connect all the way. There's a light somewhere in this column. There's light down here. That still doesn't give me a lot of information, though. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, still not. Light here, and then dark. Or light here, and then dark, dark. Either or. No guarantees past that. How about the 7? No, there's still like a million things a 7 can do. 6, 7. Nope. Yeah, one of these two is dark, but that doesn't really tell me anything else. It's kind of looking like maybe this is dark and this extends left, which forces this to be light so that this light can get out into the rest of the light. But that is vibe-based solutions, which that's not how we work here. Do the edges follow checkerboard rules? In what way? Like, this could be light. But if this were light, this couldn't be light. Because that would be a normal checkerboard. But, like, the incomplete checkerboard doesn't mean anything. actually may be, now that I think about it. Because, like, if this is light, this and this do need to connect. And there's no way for them to connect around a light. I think you're right, actually. I wasn't thinking about it that way because it's on the diagonal. But there is the rule about the edges anyway. I think it all needs to connect. I think that's right, actually. We'll see if this messes me up. If this ends up causing problems, then we'll go back to before I did this. But I think that's correct. I think that only means 1 out of every 2 needs to be dark. I think it means that if these 2 are on the edges, there can't be a light between them. And I think that holds the whole way down. Like, just like that holds for this one, I think that also holds for this one, which means that has to be dark. Like, I think it holds the whole way across. Yeah, that's a big deal. That feels necessary. One of these 2 needs to be light, which means this one needs to be light. Yeah, I mean, there already is a lemma specifically dealing with the edges and how things connect, and I wasn't thinking about it because the edges are diagonal in this one rather than straight. I'm gonna start calling bi people diagonal. I'm sure they'll love that. One of these 2 needs to be light. Does that mean anything in particular? No, it's not sealed off. Yeah, it could still be 1, 2, 3, 4. That would work. Asking a question you don't know the answer to is... I guess that's a gray area, because sometimes questions are leading, but in this case, I didn't feel like this was spoilers, because this just reminded me of something I already knew, as opposed to robbed me of a moment of discovery. Like, that's the big thing about spoilers, right? Is it's all about discovery. Sometimes asking the leading question leads me to the discovery. And that I'm on the fence about. Like, sometimes that works out and sometimes it doesn't. Now we're in vibe-based moderation. What are we doing down here? Can this be dark? Sure. Absolutely. Only one of these 2 can be dark, though. Oh, this has to be dark, because it's all sealed off. Well, this now cannot be dark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there we go. 5, 6. Spoiling Discovery is bad, but spoiling Voyager is okay. Yeah, nailed it. That's exactly correct. This now needs to come out this way. this is all connected up here. Unclear if it has to connect through here. Ooh, it can't connect through here because this has to come out. So this has to come down here. So this has to go up to there. And then this can be whatever, depending on what this 4 needs. How's this 8 doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's doing just fine. What's this 4 doing? All of these things are suspicious. That's way too many. Ooh, because this 4 extended, things with this 8 changed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because it can't connect there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What does that tell me? That tells me this still needs to come down to here, which means we got to do that. Love it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. Can't go any further than here. Or than here now. So the 11, if it touches, is stopped here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If the 11 doesn't touch, it's stopped here. So it's 4. If the 11 does touch, then it's 5. 6, 7. 8, 9. This needs to connect. Which means this has to be light. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this 6 is now resolved. That has to come out. This 4 needs to go down to there. This 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Almost. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the 11. 8, 9, 10, 11. So not necessarily going down. This 8 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, that's correct. And this 4... I don't have strong opinions about this 4. This 4 can keep living its best life. This 5 now, though, gets to do that. So that's cool. Five, 6, 7, 8. Damn it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's interesting. That's intriguing. I am intrigued. And this light down here can still go either left or right around this 4, around these 6s and 8s, like just wherever you want to go. Still a disaster. One of these 2. But it's not a region. So it doesn't actually tell me anything about the diagonal. Even though it's a 2 in the corner. Two in the corner, much less singable than 3 in the corner. All right, where's my next point of attack? 11, this 3. Is there rules about this 3 here? There we go. I forgot about checkerboards. As always, I forgot about checkerboards. constantly forgetting about checkerboards. The Jim the Eternal experience. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I just keep looking at the viewpoints and forgetting that there are other rules. Rules are hard, okay? 6. One of these two is dark for sure. One of these two is dark for sure. It doesn't actually tell me anything, though. Nothing has changed here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, nothing has changed here. Either both of these are dark, or this is dark. Because either it's 5 and 1, and this is light, or this is dark, and it's 5 and 1, and this is light. So there's not a world in which we have light, dark. That doesn't work. Could be light, light. Could be dark, dark. Could be dark, light. Yeah, okay, that doesn't help. There is a guaranteed light within one of these two, though. What does that mean? And a guaranteed light in one of these two. Okay, if there's a guaranteed light in one of these two, then this has to be light. That's easy. The most this can get left now is 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Progress. We did it. Kind of. We did something. No additional solutions were created as a result of this, but it is progress. More cells on the board. Yeah, no jokes about this 4-star, though. It's very real. It would be so funny if this ended up being a map of the pyramid. Like a map of the Vault of the Vitric. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it would still need either this one or this one, even if it connected to this 6. 6, 7, 8. This whole row could be dark. No, this whole row cannot be dark. Either this is light or this is light, but one of these two has to be light because these lights need to go up some way or another. If this is light, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that means this. If this is light, 1, 2, 3, 4, that means more, but we don't know. Well, now, with this being sealed off, this light has to come up through here. Yeah, now this has to be dark. This has to be dark. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That has to come out to here. This has to go up to there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. This has to come out through here. This has to be dark. This has to be there. Excuse me. Excuse me? We've done something wrong. Distressing. No, I think that's right, still. I think it's based on this position. Maybe I did something wrong somewhere else? Where else might I have done something wrong? Oh no. Yeah, this can't be 8 across. And if that's that, then this has to come up this way. Uh-oh. 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 Oh, no. Oh, no. How far back do I have to go? Oh, I guess that's what foresight is for. This is wrong. Okay. This is wrong. How did I get that being dark? Actually, as it stands right now, this does need to be... No, it doesn't need to be dark because it can go through here. Okay. Well, thank you, Foresight, for giving me that information. This does need to come out through here. If this is dark light, then the dark needs to come down through here. Or it's dark light. Dark light, dark light. I don't know. Other than the foresight telling me that this one was wrong. That this can't be dark. I don't want to immediately put it as light because I don't know that it's light, but that tells me something. Okay, so what did we do over here? We did something over here that that resolved quite a lot, and I don't remember how we started it. The 5, maybe? The 6, probably? Because now the 6 is actually a little bit restricted, right? Because there has to be... It can't connect to the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it has to go down at least 1. Disaster. Well, at least Foresight prevented me from doing a full restart. Thank you, Foresight. My worst nightmare. Multiple tiles are colored incorrectly. What does this get me? Light, dark. Dark, light. If dark, then light, then light, then dark, then take it to paint. You know, it's so funny looking at my keyboard and like the pattern of wear on the letters on the keyboard. Every letter on my keyboard is still readable with the exception of S, which is completely worn out. Like, it's not even like WASD is more worn out than everything. It's just S is gone and all of the other letters are fine. What does that say about my keyboard habits? I think it says that my middle finger is fidgety. I was going to take this to paint. We were going to do a thing. Oh, this can shrink a little bit. All right, so if dark here, that means light and light, which means dark here, and means light and light, and checkerboard means light, and checkerboard means dark. Light here. Nope, still legal. This dark means dark here, which means light here. Now it's either light, or light, light, or light, 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 and any of those seem legal. I'm going to do the trace thing here. Make sure stuff looks like it's fully connected. This has to come out. Light here and light here. Oh, the 4. We can still do stuff with the 4, actually. Regardless of paint, we can still do stuff with the 4 because there's light here and there's light here. So it has to go up at least 1. If either of these is light, this has to be light. So it has to go up at least 2. And if either of these is light, that doesn't actually mean anything else here. But this much we can do. How does that affect my my hypothetical? So dark here means light, light. This light means dark here, which means that's dark. This light means... I thought that meant something for this too. And now that I'm looking at it... Oh, because of checkerboard. Yeah, this can't be light. This has to be dark. Which means this too is resolved. Now checkerboard here means light here. And checkerboard here means dark here. Checkerboard here as well. Checkerboard here means light here, which means this is resolved. Which means this comes out this way. And this has to come out to here. And this has to be light here. So all of the stuff that we're doing over here on the left side actually is still correct. Hang on. Yeah, so this is where I ended up last time, which was wrong because of what happened over here, but maybe none of this was wrong. Maybe just the stuff over here was wrong and this was actually still correct. So let's undo all of that and see what happens if I go the other direction, right? If we go dark here instead to make this light, which means this is light and dark here, which means we have dark here and here and here for this 4. So this now has to come down to here. This is coming up. This 6 is resolved here, so that has to go through there. Checkerboard here, so that has to be dark. This 7 is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so it has to have a light here. This is now sealed off, so this has to come out either here or down there. There needs to be light either here or here. If one of these two has to be light, then this has to be light. So that has to connect down like that. Which means checkerboard here, which means light here, which means checkerboard here, which means light there, which means dark here. So regardless, this is dark. This just never lets me be light. Confirm? If this is light, then this has to be dark. So light and light. This has to be dark. This has to be light. This has to be dark, which means light and light. This has to be light then. Light. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for this 8, which is illegal. So yeah. This can't be light. This has to be dark. Dark. What does that mean? Nothing yet, I think, is what that means. Too bad. But someday it might mean something. What about the 6 now? 2, 3, 4, 5. There has to be light here. And there has to be light here. Okay, so that's not really anything new. 1, 2, 3. There has to be light here. The most the 6 could get out of this is 3. Including itself. So 2 more. It's not really helpful, is it? This 4 seems like it has to either go up or left. It can't go down or right. Like if this is dark, dark. Oh, that's checkerboard. That doesn't work. Yeah, these can't both be dark. One of these two has to be light, which means the rest of this 4 is sealed off, which means this has to be dark. Fascinating. Same thing for this 3, actually. This has 1 more light, which means it can't be dark, dark. and light here. So this has to be dark. One of these two has to be light. Checkerboard! How about this 7? These can't both be dark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it cannot be exactly 7 all the way down. So it's got to go up or left at least a little bit. Which means if it connects to this light, which is not a guarantee, this has to be dark. But it's not a guarantee that it connects to the light. It could just, there could be a dark here, and it could just resolve itself entirely above. Oh, well. Oh, well. All right, if we have light here, dark, light. What does that mean? I feel like there's some chain here that'll give me more information, right? Light here, dark needs to come down to here. That needs to be dark. One of these two needs to be light down that way. That is, I think, a situation that we were in Paint about earlier. How many times am I going to run through the same hypothetical, you might ask? A good question, a valid question, one that is worthy of being asked. The answer is as many as it takes. As many as it takes. Can I figure out anything else about this 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6? 7, 8? Does that help? Doesn't seem to. Yeah, the other problem with backtracking is now I have to remember all of the things that I did to solve during that path, and going back and looking at the things that I've already done and doing them again and remembering that I did a thing. Difficult. Hard life. Hard life. This 6. These can't both be light because checkerboard. So one of these two needs to be dark, which gives this 6 from 3 to 4, which is not that scary. One of these two needs to be dark, which solves the 2, actually. So this needs to be light. Which means this needs to be light. Which means we've got this 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, and it can't be 8 across. It has to go down here, which means this 4 has to come up here. Heck yeah. The business. Okay, so now we're back to this situation, except this time there's not something illegal happening over here, which is great news. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, what's happening here? One of these two has to be light, actually, for the 4, so this has to be light. And if one of these two has to be light, this has to be light. Because if this were light, it would have to come out. So this has to be dark, which means this has to be dark, which means the light comes out that way. This 3 now is still not fully resolved. 1, 2, 3, 4. That becomes 5 and 6, so the 6. Which means this 11... Oh, which means this 3 resolves that way. So now we have this 8 can't connect down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stop. And this now needs to go up like that. And now it can do that in a way that's not illegal because this needs to come out through here. So there. Great. All right, back in a business. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Perfect. And this 6 we still haven't figured out, but one of these two, we'll get it eventually. It'll be okay. This light either goes up here or up here. Either is fine. Are there any other checkerboards here? Do either of these two have to be light? No, this could all three of these be dark. Because this 8 could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, with this being light. So either this is light, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that has to happen, which means that has to happen. So now we've got this 8 exactly where it needs to be, which is one of these two. And that extends to this 6, and that can go either way. And builds off of this 5, I guess? Like, if this is dark, then this has to be dark, right? That's fairly clear. Yeah, it feels like it's either or for a bunch of these, so now I just need to, like, pick a path and see how it resolves. I think trial and error here is the correct next step. So let's try the one that I think is wrong, which is this one. I think this is wrong, but we'll see how it plays out. That means dark there. That means dark. That's not legal. Hang on. Hang on. I take it back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That means dark there and there, which means that plays out to there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's dark. So this is light. This is light. That means this is dark. So this is dark. So this is light. So this is dark. So this checkerboard gives us that. And now this needs to come out that way. Sometimes I just have to follow my train of thought until I bump directly into the obstacle. And then I can be like, oh, look, a train wreck. I know what to do about this. Rather than, you know, observing the obstacle down the road and being like, ah, an obstacle. I should avoid that. Nope. Sometimes train wreck is the only answer. Okay. Great. And where does this go? Eh. Do I want to be here? Sure doesn't seem like I want to be here. Unless all of these sightseers, one of these sightseers require me to be in here, which, that's very possible. Sightseers do be like that sometimes. Oh. There's something there. Oh, I don't like that. Where does this go? Eh? Wait, I did these. I've already been here? I didn't do these? Yo, what's up, Seabot? How's it going? It looks resolved. But why is this... Or whatever. Yeah, that looks solved. I'm gonna not play around with that. I guess I have been here. Weird. Well, good job me, I guess. I don't think I could have been here. This is confusing. I'm gonna play with this a little bit. Don't make this pattern. Connect all dark, connect all light. It's underclued. Is this one not underclued? This one is just a regular solve. I kind of remember this pattern, though. I feel like I did this one. Which means I must have done that one. Yeah, they're both lit up. I feel like I've done this. Which is weird, because I don't know how I got in here before. Currently a bed for your cat. That is totally fair. Sometimes we are all cat beds, you know? That's just how life is like. Which means I must have been up here before. But the only way to get up here is through there? Which I haven't been? I don't understand. I don't understand how I could have solved these while being in the position I am without having done some of the other things. But this definitely looks solved. The both of them. Confusing. I'm confused. This is my confused face. Man, the only way out is through here. Alright, well, 17 puzzles left in Vault of the Vitric. And many of them are puzzles that I do not want to engage with. So maybe we're done with Vault of the Vitric? It is distinctly possible that we are done with Vault of the Vitric? As done as I am willing to be with Vault of the Vitric? That seems weird. I don't like that there's puzzles that I don't want to do. But there's definitely puzzles that I don't want to do. I can drop into the yellow ring from above. From above. I'm gonna have to test this because I don't know what you're talking about. So what is this crazy game? So Islands of Insight is a puzzle-based MMO that pretty shortly after releasing ended up going fully offline in single player. Oh. Wait, this is open to the outside now? Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. This was originally a puzzle MMO before it went single player. So it has this, like, MMO overworld, which, I mean, if you look at the way that you're navigating this space and all of the character customization options and stuff, it definitely feels like an MMO. You're saying I can drop into here from above? Where above could I have dropped into here from? Because that doesn't look like it connects to anything. Other than the thing that it very obviously connects to. You mean into here from above? There was an above that I could have... Ah, okay. Yep. I understand now. I understand everything. Everything is understood. What part would have been cooperative other than collaborating on solving? Well, I don't even think there was a way to collaborate on solving built into the game. Although there was, like, design plans, like future plans for raid puzzles or whatever that would eventually exist but didn't exist in the scope of the game as it was released. So the MMO part was literally just seeing other people walking around. there was nothing cooperative about the game with as much of it got released, as far as I know. Although I guess people could show you, like, mysteries and stuff. You could be like, hey, where is this thing? And people could show you around. Oh, yeah, and with stuff like hidden pentads, you could show other people where the hidden pentad is. That's true, because some of them are still physical out in the world. Hidden pentads and, the standing stones and stuff like that. Yep. All right, I'm going to say that I am done with this because my memory of all of the remaining puzzles in Vault of the Vitric are all bad memories. Are all things that I do not want to continue to engage with. So what's atop the pyramid? Nothing now. Although there was a monolith connecting block to connect to... Where is that monolith here? This guy, that big boy. The monolith. Which is like a big sort of meta world spanning line of sight puzzle that I have already done. Okay, well, I know there's still mysteries I haven't resolved. And worst case, there is still, like, running around and finding logic puzzles and skydrops and stuff that I haven't done. So, like, there's plenty of stuff to go do. Maybe skydrops I shouldn't count on account of them just being procedural and there always being more skydrops. But, like, there's definitely more bespoke logic grids that are lying around that I haven't completed, you know? There's definitely lots of sections of the world that I haven't even been in, let alone solved all the puzzles in. And there's more armillary rings. You know? Sometimes you just gotta... You gotta get into position and... Pachoom! Wait. Pachoom? Not pachoom? Hang on. Pachoom! Oh, pachoom? Yeah! There we go. Get pachoomed, idiot. Gives Myst vibes. I'm sure that was part of the inspiration. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Myst has inspired so many games. All right, show me hidden relics. Hey, look, it's a hidden relic. Show me more hidden relics. Where are they? There. Match 3 speed challenge. Get out. I will never. That sounds like not fun. That sounds like the opposite of what I want to do with my time in this game. Hello? More hidden relics? Where are you? Oh, maybe they're up. That's very possible. There's one. You're not a hidden relic. You're a monolith piece. There's one. Other side of the thing? Oh, there we go. Ha get got. Yeah, cool. Cool, yeah, cool. All right. Do I have anything in particular that I actually want to be focused on? Do I have anything that I am intending to do? Or a goal that I am intending to reach? I don't think so. Complete the pattern. Okay. Pattern completed. Got him. More match 3s. Get out of here. All my homies hate match 3s. Any enclaves left undone? That's a good question, actually. That is a pretty good... Apparently, I haven't fully completed Dare of the Triunes. Which, I don't know what that is, even. Missing some... There's more to do in Eye of the Needle. Eye of the Needle was rough, actually. I haven't fully completed Archipelago of Curiosities, or The Highest Viewpoint, or Shifting in Phase. The Highest Viewpoint? Is there a mystery that references The Highest Viewpoint? I still haven't found the large golden bell. You'd think I'd have found that by now. Find the ancient behemoth who wears a crown of gold, where this giant shelters a puzzle box on its belt of stone. However, you will find that this puzzle cannot be solved in the usual way. You must look outside of this box and into another. Stand upon the highest land in the known realm and fly towards the worlds within worlds. That. Okay. Where is the highest viewpoint? Here. Probably easier to teleport over to there, isn't it? So now the question is... Hello? Okay, whatever. Hang on. Pachoom! Where did my... There's my marker. Oh, that's very up. Okay. Up we go. This is interesting, because I don't think this spot is actually the highest viewpoint, but maybe the highest viewpoint is the enclave this connects to. The stars stare back. All right, well, this place is actually not fully resolved. Excuse me? Well, if that's how you're going to be about it, I guess I'll solve some more logic grids. Assuming I can find them. Whoa. Don't make this pattern. Okay. Heck. Exactly too dark here. Well, one of these two needs to be dark, and one of these two needs to be dark. So this is light, and that's light. Same here. One of these three need to be dark, and one of these three need to be dark. So this needs to be light. At least one of these three is dark. Okay, now we know that one of these two needs to be dark. Not which of them, but just one of them. Brain is too smooth for these kinds of puzzles. Well, I am jumping directly into the highest difficulty tier of puzzle, so I'm sure you'd be able to handle a bunch of these. Just working your way up through them makes something like this a lot more resolvable. One of these two needs to be dark. So We can have one dark among these 6. It doesn't actually tell me anything, does it? Yeah, because I have no horizontal information. I'm a madman. All right, fair enough. I definitely lean into, like, I am playing these games so that you don't have to, for some of the games that I play on stream. And that can be the higher tier of puzzle game. Absolutely. I am willing to provide that service. This is tricky. All right, if this is dark, if this is dark, then this is light. So one of these two needs to be dark. If this is dark, then this is light. So one of these two needs to be dark. Which means one of these 4 needs to be dark, and one of these 2 needs to be dark. So this needs to be light. We already know one of these 2 needs to be dark. We know now one of these 2 needs to be dark. Um... I don't think I can go much higher than that comfortably. Puzzles like this sometimes make me wish I was an Alto, though. One of these 2 and one of these 2. Can we resolve anything else in this column as a result of the information I have here? One of these 2 for sure. And then either one of these 2 or one of these 2, which means we have this, I think. And I think this pattern just extends all the way across. Like, I think we could just do this. But I kind of want to, like, actually think about it. Go through the motions, I guess. No, I think that's right. I think that's right. I think we can extend the same logic that got us to this pattern all the way across. Which means this has to be dark, because this can't be light. So this has to be dark here. So now, one of these 2 and one of these 2, right? Because we have this light here. So this is light. Which means one of these 2 and this, so the rest of the way through. So this has to be dark. And this has to be dark, because we can't make the 2x2s. Which means that. Cool. That's actually a lot of progress. Okay, now one of these 2 combined with this, so that. And that. Smell math. I mean, this probably is a proof of some kind. I would believe that. This now needs to be dark. And one of these needs to be dark, so that. Now we need one of these 2. And in here, as one of these 2 and then one more. So that one more needs to be exactly this. We have one of these two, as well as one of these two. So now guaranteed one in here and one in here, which means that, which means that. Which means this. And you have 5 already, so that's 2. That's 2. Here we have that, and then that, and then here. Yeah. Well, that went really cleanly, actually. That was very cool. You know what? Having done this, I feel a lot better about going to that stupid underclude grid with the long strings of 2s and also the same kind of rules. Do I want to go back to that? Do I want to go back to that and try that again? Yo, thank you so much for the bits, Cbot. Yeah, that one actually went really cleanly. I'm actually really happy with how that played out. I feel good about these results. Is the next one going to be far, far worse? Let's find out. You know what? Actually, what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go back to the Vault of the Vitric and try that one puzzle again. But before I do that, I'm going to set up a teleport for myself. God, what did I do? Surrounded by garbage. There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay, and then can I teleport while leaving that there? Like if I teleport over to here, does that stay there? It's not visible on the map. So how would I teleport to it? Like that. Okay. Okay, so it does stay there across my teleports, which is what I wanted. Fantastic. Gonna go back to the Vault of the Vitric and play with puzzles that seemed too difficult at the time. Reflect on what you have learned. How do I get back to you now? There's my drop-in point here. And then I gotta go down another floor. And these stupid glass mazes. That's not it. That's not it. Where is the thing? Around here? Hydrate or dihydrate, good call. I would not like to dihydrate. All right, you jerk. Now that we know this information, where does this get us? You know, it's something like this, or offset, right? Only need to fill half in. How hard can it be? Yeah, how hard can it be, right? The problem is I don't know where to start. I don't know what is actually mandatory relative to what's going on here. Right? It could be like this. Or it could be exactly opposite to this. Like, this is also kind of a valid, similar setup. But then with this, that means you're alternating, right? So one high, one low, one high, one low. The Rock can't do math, so he sets it on fire. I have never been one to set math on fire, but that does sound appealing. But also, I think there is a thing where, like, the corners, for example, can't be dark because that leaves too much space for other light squares to exist. And the same thing that I'm doing here vertically, I could also be doing horizontally, right? Something like that or whatever. Except this doesn't work because whatever. Which I feel like guarantees exactly this. But that's clearly not it. Creators of this game have PhDs in puzzleology. I had one of there was a bunch of people who worked on puzzles for this game, and I had one of them come into my stream for a little bit, talking about some of the puzzles they made. I don't remember what their history was or what their education was. But they're like definitely puzzle game enthusiasts. So if you hang out in spaces where people talk about puzzle games, not even necessarily creating puzzle games, just puzzle games in general, I'm sure you'll see some of them. Like one of them is a fairly prominent member of the Witness Randomizer community. Lots of partial placement imply more squares that must be blocked. So it's kind of a dance, not locking in too many extra squares. Yeah, a little bit. Well, the thing is, this is underclued, right? So you actually can't solve it with just the information you have, but the information that you have does lead you to some tiles must be one way or the other, even if there are some tiles that you can't know for sure what they are without additional information, right? So if we looked at the puzzle that I just solved prior to this, it only had the top ones, and then it had some viewpoints. But the information that we have here gives me enough restrictions that I should be able to put it together to know some of the tiles, even if I can't know all of the tiles. And I am having a hard time narrowing down which tiles I am supposed to know. One of the other people worked on this, very prominent in the Lingo custom map sphere. Oh, wow. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I saw that Lingo 2 went on sale recently. Maybe I'll pick that up. I had a good time playing Lingo 1, even if it ended up being a little too word gamey for me. Never did finish up the second area in Lingo. There was a lot of stuff there that was kind of esoteric. Yeah, this is still, like, troubling enough that I don't really want to engage with it. I thought maybe I'd have a handle on it, having solved, like, a similar puzzle, and that does not seem to be the case. That's not how you get out of here. This is how you get out of here. Bonk. Oh no, I bonked. Terrible news. Now I'm out of jumpies. I gotta wait for my jumpies to restore. Difficult. I don't know how long it takes them to come back. It's like once a minute or something? You have thoughts about it? Yeah, I spent a good, like, hour-ish, I think, trying to fill in pieces of it in a previous stream. And, it's more than I want to engage with. Damn it! I have failed my jumpies again. Is there a better way to do this? There is a better way to do this, isn't there? Well, it involves going down the rest of the pyramid. Oh no, I can do it this way. And then there is a way out that is easier, that I definitely remember. No, I am not sure that I remember. Alright, but this maze is easier to navigate, so maybe we'll just go out this way. Really? Didn't end up getting you? Where is the green for that? Never did see the green for that, I think. Oh, you're making noise. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Alright, nope, still leaving. Assuming I can remember how to leave. A constant problem. Not that way. This way? Maybe? Glass mazes, why? Why did I think this was a good idea? Ah. Wait, what? This was supposed to take me out of the pyramid! There's out of the pyramid. Oh, I went into the wrong maze. Oh. That's the same as the... Oh. Suddenly I understand. That's the green one that we're missing. Okay. So there needs to be a spot where I can see this. As well as... Yeah, there it is. Alright, well, going into the wrong maze served me fine this time. Just this once, though. Oh, nope. That's not the exit. That's not the exit. Bonk. That's not the exit. Maybe this was the exit. Freedom! Alright, now where's the place that I wanted to be at? Where did I actually want to be? There. Great! That seems a little insane of an environmental puzzle. Yeah, this is... That area, the Vault of the Vitric, is the sort of culmination of everything. It's the place that you have to solve 15 meta puzzles called mysteries in order to get into. Like, it's the most endgame of endgame locations this game has. This is underclued, huh? Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There. This 6 can get at most 4 going this way, so it's got to get 2 more going this way. This 8 can get at most 6 going this way, so it's got to get 2 more going this way. This 10 can get at most 7. This 9 can get at most 5 going vertically. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4 for the 9. The 10 can get 7. It needs 3 more. It has 3 more. So that's fine. Let's see. Either the 7 connects to this and gets 5, or the 7 goes off to the side and gets 4. And then it has 2 more. But yeah, 5 that way is still fine. That's fine. This 4 now has 3. So this 6 can't get more than 3 going this way. So it needs another 3 that way. This 6 has 1. So this 8 can't get more than 5 going this way. So it has to have that. Does this have to be blocked off now is the question. This 8 has 6? Wild. This 6 has 5 now. This 4 has 3. Yeah. Okay. This 5 has 3. But it's all inclusive. Like, the 7 has 3. But none of it is horizontal, so it doesn't restrict how far the 10 can go. Same here with this 9 and the 5. The 5 has 3, but none of it is horizontal, so it doesn't change the restriction on the 9 in terms of the vertical. But there's 6 more tiles I can fill in? Fascinating. I guess if this is light, the 5 is fully resolved. Otherwise, the 5 can get 2 more tiles in other directions. Is that a guarantee? Probably not. What is guaranteed then? Whew. We know one of these two is dark for the 4, but we don't know which one. And same for the 6, actually. Either both of these are dark. If this is light, then both of these are dark. If this is dark, then both of these are light. What does that tell me? Nothing. Probably. Baba is Jim. Dude, Baba Is You was such a good game. I hear there's extra puzzle packs for Baba Is You, like official puzzle packs for Baba Is You, as opposed to just like fan-made puzzles, which also there's like a million of. Maybe that's a game I go back to. It's sure been quite some time since I played Baba Is You. Probably long enough that I don't remember some of the solutions to the regular puzzles. Although the meta puzzles in Baba Is You is what really made that game. I think they just came out. Dang. Hempuli is a busy bee, or cat, or whatever Hempuli is. Baba is dusty. I am eagerly awaiting Environmental Station Alpha 2. That is a thing that I'm very, very excited for. On top of almost anything else that Hempuli does. I really do like almost all of his work. He was involved in some other project relatively recently that I really enjoyed, and I didn't even realize that he was a part of it. And then I looked through kind of the people responsible. I was like, oh, Hempuli's on this. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. But I don't remember what the project was. I feel like there's something going on with this 7 that I should be able to figure out. Can I place any dark tiles? Maybe that's the next question I need to be asking. One of these two is guaranteed dark. Actually, I have 4 out of the 10 here. Oh, no, but the 7 could still get all of it horizontally, or vertically, rather. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That would still be legal. Yep. That would still be legal. Is there some interaction between these two patterns that limits what is possible and what is not? That's another question. I can't even point to like any of these outside spaces and be like, oh, that one's guaranteed dark, because anything that's not part of the viewpoints could be dark or light and it wouldn't make a difference. Which is why it's under clued. I mean, that's real. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Doesn't restrict me horizontally. Does this 7 restrict the 10 at all? 7 can still go just about anywhere. Alright, we're gonna take this to paint. We're gonna try some stuff out and see if it goes anywhere. Right? So, if this is dark, we end up with light, light, dark, dark. This dark here means an extra light here is required. Because now this 9 and this 10 need one more light in their sort of puzzle path. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ah, not the 9, actually. But this is guaranteed now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Which means the 7 now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to it. And this here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What else does this do? Not a whole lot. Now this 8, though, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is fully resolved. So that means that. The 4 is resolved. The 6 is resolved. The 8 is resolved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on this 10. And it has a bunch of directions to expand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the 9. 1, 2, 3. And it has a bunch of directions to expand, so nothing guaranteed. This 5. Still only 2 in this column, though. 2 in this column and then 1 left or 1 right. It doesn't matter. Yeah, this doesn't restrict the 9. Don't see any additional restrictions on the 7 here. 5 could be this is light, or up down right, 2 of the up down right. Okay, so this is, I think, as much as I can determine if this is dark. So now what we're gonna do is select all of this, move it out of the way, and hopefully I can still get to it. Never mind. We're just gonna open up a new paint window. Can I not open up just a new window and leave this one open for comparison purposes? Paint not providing me with the tools I want. I guess that does make it paint. Could do smaller inner dots, I suppose. I could also switch colors. No, but that's not going to work because I need to go over the same spots that I've already been on. All right, let's try. You know what I can do is I can increase the size of the canvas, I think. I don't remember how to do that, but I'm pretty sure I can do that. And that'll just give me more scroll. You? Not zoom out here. Oh, I guess zoom out also does the trick. Now I have a comparison, which is what I wanted. Put that up here, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. We'll look at it later. Go back into full view and fill in the alternate hypothesis, which is this. So now this 4 is resolved that way. This 6 is resolved that way. This 8 needs to go out to here. And the 9 can still only get 5 vertically. So that's not changed. The 10 now can only get 6 vertically instead of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But we already have this 10 filled in over here on the right. So you understand now? Excellent. That's good. I'm happy to hear it. But that doesn't change anything here. That actually doesn't restrict anything in this pattern at all, I don't think. So is that all I can grab? That might be all I can grab from that. So does that give me anything? You can see the matrix now. Excellent. Is that really all I can do? I'm hitting the wrong button for zoom in and zoom out. So looking at the comparisons here, there's no overlap. This could still be light or dark here. Actually, if this is dark, what happens? Then everything for the 10 is light. If this is dark... Maybe that's a better, like, guess point, is setting this one to be dark or light. Can this still be light, like it is here? Once this goes dark, this has to be light because of the 10? And then the 10 has an extra one going up. But that doesn't restrict it because it was already the same restrictions horizontally. Okay. Yeah, so this isn't helpful. But what about this? What does this change for me? So now the 10 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... 8, 9. Yeah, it needs to be all of them for the 10. Which means the 9 now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 9 is resolved. Which means the 5 needs to connect there. Three, 4, 5. The 7 now has... No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 7 now has 6. But the 9 is resolved, and the 10 is resolved, and the 5 is resolved here. So that goes dark, and that goes dark. Which means the 7 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, this is actually illegal. So this needs to be light. Because of this sort of chain of thought here. Extension of hypotheticals. This needs to be light. double check that. If this is dark, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, the 10 needs this to be fully filled in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which means the 9 is now fully filled in. The 5 now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so this needs to be filled in. And now the 5 is fully resolved, which means the 7 is stuck with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, this is illegal. So that means that no matter what happens, this needs to be light. Progress! Now there's only 5 tiles remaining. Heck. So if this needs to be light, does that change anything? Now the 7 has 5 guaranteed. So it can't take both of these. It can take at most 1 to the right. If it takes this, it's fully resolved. So it can either go left 1 and fully resolve itself, or it can take any combination of up, down, and right once. Which is still very open. The 10 now, though, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, can still go everywhere. I think the 9 and 10 horizontal line is all white. It can be. It doesn't necessarily have to be. Although maybe that's a thing that we can play with and kind of determine whether or not it's possible. Because the 10 now has 4 horizontally, which means it can't actually fill in the line, or 4 vertically. So the 10 can't actually fill in the line horizontally, which means 9 needs 1 more than it has, but it can get that going down, right? Because the 10 now has 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So if you fill in the horizontal line, it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you can't actually fill in this whole line because of how much it's gotten vertically here. So that means the most the 9 is getting out of this line is 6. Now it can go 7, 8, 9 and be fine. Or it can go 7. It can get its 9th going up or down. So that's not restrictive, unfortunately. Not restrictive enough. It does. The space that the 10 is on counts. So, like, this 4, if you look at it right now, it sees itself, it sees 1 more horizontally, and it sees 1 more vertically. So it sees 3 total. Which means it needs 1 more in order to fully resolve itself. And that can be either left, or it can be down. But it can't be both. Has to be one of those 2. Who was it before? Rural was complaining about the same thing. He was really bothered by the fact that the viewpoint numbers counted the cell that they started in based on the description. But yeah, they count their starting cell as well in the visible cells they can see. All right, I think we need new hypotheticals now. Because if we look at this, with this one filled in, because it is a guarantee. So if we go light here, dark, 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 and then light and dark, does that change anything? Now the 7 can't go up, so either it goes left, or it goes both right and down. So either it goes like that, or it goes like that. I guess if it goes left, it looks like this, which means the 10 has 5 going up and down. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Would need that. That's now a guarantee. The 5 is fully resolved. Is this busted, actually? 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9 on the 10. So the 10 can only have one more going right. Yeah, I think this doesn't work. So from here, if this is light, the 7 is fully resolved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So dark, 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 dark. Which means the 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is required. But only one more is allowed horizontally on the 10. The 5 is now resolved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the 9 needs to fully fill in this row. And the 10 can't allow this row to fully fill in. So this needs to be dark. That's required. So now the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the 5 can go left and down and doesn't require going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5, 6. So the 9 can still only get 6 horizontally. Which means the 9 needs one more vertically. Which means the 5 needs one more vertically. Could the 5 get 2 more vertically? Yes. And then we restrict this row even more, and the 10 gets its extra going up or down, which also works for the 7. In fact, the 7 requires 2 more things, right? Can the 10 get both of its things going up and down? If the 10 goes up and down, that means this is dark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 10 is now fully resolved here, so dark and dark. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the 9. And it can only get 2 more going up. This has to be light. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this has to be dark. Yeah, this has to be light because the 10 can't get everything vertically. Otherwise, it takes too much away from the 9. Two more tiles. So is this what you saw, Seabot? Is this the future that you envisioned when you were able to see the Matrix? This puzzle's kind of a mess, I'll be honest with you. Viewpoint numbers are always hard for me. Like, it's hard for me to internalize exactly what everything means. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the 10 needs 2 more. Now that you get the concept, sure. Only one of them can be vertical. So at least one of them needs to be horizontal. which means the 9 has minimum 5 horizontal. So needs to get 4 more vertical. 4 or 3 more vertical. You almost need to draw out all the possibilities. Yeah, that's why I keep taking it into Paint to fill out the hypotheticals. Because, like, you have to... It kind of feels like you have to try it. Speaking of... This is my guarantee now. So we can work off of this in both of these. Does 2 above the 5 work? Let's try it. Right? So if the 5 gets this and this, that would be dark, dark, dark. The 9 now has 5, so it needs 4 more horizontally. It has 3, so it needs exactly 1 more horizontally. Which means the 10 gets exactly 1 more horizontally and then needs exactly 1 more vertically. Which works for the 7. So yes, it looks like this does work. I don't think this changes anything for any of the rest of it. I think the more interesting thing is if the 5 tries to get 1 more horizontally, because that restricts how much the 9 can take vertically. Because now the 9 can only get 1 more vertically, right? Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which means it requires this to be light for the 9. Which means the 10 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 10 needs 1 more. And either that overlaps with the 7, or it goes horizontally. The 9 also needs 1 more, and either that overlaps with the 5 or it goes horizontally. So we end up in a situation like this where it's either vertical for both or horizontal for both, but it's also 1 more for both of the bottom ones. And I'm not sure that this spins out into anything useful. I think what I want to do from here is try out both of these situations. So try out this, for example, which means this needs to go there and there and there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that. Right? That's this. Oh no, never mind. That's this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I thought something was wrong with that. Two, 4, 5, 6. Yes, okay. So now this up here is fully resolved. This doesn't change the situation down here, I think. Like, this being here, the 10 already can't go full width. So the 9 already can't go full width because of the 10 and needs to get more vertical. So I think this situation doesn't change anything here. But if we go the other direction, right? If we go light here for the 4, so now that resolves this and this that way. Now the 6 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so that's dark. Now the 8 needs 1 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 needs to go there, and then dark there. Does this change anything? Now the 7 only has 1 more out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Needs to go down here. Which means the 10 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9. Needs exactly 1 more horizontally. So the 9 is getting exactly 1 more horizontally. The 9 is getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 horizontally. 6, 7, and needs to fill in this way, which means it fills in here. And then the one more that this gets could be right or left, doesn't matter. Or we don't know. But the rest of this is mandatory. So now the 5 is filled in completely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 7 is filled in completely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 9 needs one more horizontally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 10 needs one more horizontally. So they're resolved either with a light here, or a light here. The 8 is good. The 6 is good. The 4 is good. So this is viable, this situation. And that covers this. So is there any overlap between these two? There kind of isn't. In this situation, can we figure out top bottom the way this is going? Like, does this have to be dark light, or can this be dark light? Actually, we know the 7 needs one more, and we know it's vertical. So the 10 is getting exactly 6 up and down. No matter what. Like, we can't have dark here. This is not enough. So we are getting exactly one more horizontally here. So the 9 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 horizontally. 6, 7, haha, and needs 2 more vertically. So the 5 doesn't get to go left. The 5 has to go vertically one way or another. Which means this has to be light. Oh my god, that was a struggle. Wow, wow, wow. Very cool. And you, the last remaining 5-star here. The last remaining puzzle in the highest viewpoint. Oh my god, what is this? Oh, this is so cursed. All numbers are off by 1. Okay. So this 5 is actually a 6 and sees 6. Some of these 5s are probably 4s. I don't know which ones. This is some garbage. This is some garbage. All dark regions have area 5, and all numbers are off by 1. All right. Yeah, this puzzle being all about 5s when it's a 5-star is especially funny because none of the numbers are 5s. All of the 5s are 4s or 6s in disguise. 5 town populated exclusively by even numbers. All right, so each of these 5s is either fully sealed off or requires 2 more light. If either of these 2 require 2 more light, it has to be up and down. I think they're hiding from 7. I did hear that 6 was afraid of 7 for reasons that are undisclosed. I don't know that 4 cares. I think 4 has no fear. I think 4 has seen all that life has to offer and is fully complete within itself and is ready for the future come what may. But yes, each of these is either light, light, or dark, dark. Same here, light, light, or dark, dark. And here it can go light all the way down in a way that these 2 can't. Seven has cold, dead eyes. Yeah, 7 has the eyes of a murderer. 7's a sociopath. All my homies hate 7. Given that all dark regions have area 5, is there any place I can't put dark? Any dark in here has to come out through here and therefore touches this. So we can't have fully dark interior here. There's going to be some light. I'm curious if it'll mark it complete. It will. Okay. So it marks it complete on either a 4 or a 6. It's not going to give me information that way. That's good. That's probably correct. That's probably what it's supposed to do. Let's see. If this is a 4, it needs to be exactly this. If this is a 6, it could go left, but then needs this. So I think that means this is a guarantee, which means this. Now this could be a 6, either by going left or to the right. But I think this is guaranteed as is. This needs at least this. This will be 5, so it can't get 6, so this has to be a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 is required. And this now, this is a 6, so that's resolved. And this is either a 4, dark, or a 6, light, light. And we'll figure that out later. If this is dark, this is dark. Ah, this has to be dark all the way through because 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. This could be light, light here. No, because that would screw these up. So this has to be dark here. That comes out here. These can't touch. So this needs to be dark there. Now what? This is 3 across. So it needs at least a 4th. Either across or down. Not helpful. This also needs at least a 4th, either across or down, not helpful. This needs at least 2 more. Maybe more than that, but at least 2. One of these 2 is filled in, so it needs at least that. Maybe more. Unclear. This needs to come down. Yeah, this is either dark light or dark light. So this can only get one going up at most. So it needs at least this, maybe more. Here, this is interesting. I don't know how the dark cells connect. This is a 3. It could be 4, 5, 6, I suppose. That seems like it would be legal. And then this would have to be a 4, because it would be sealed off with the 6. This got hard again. Can this get 5 without touching this? Yes. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Like that. Like that. Like that. Or like that. Yes. Any one of these doesn't need to get filled in. 3 of these would need to get filled in, but it doesn't signify which ones. Or it could connect to this and be different. You can't see the matrix anymore. The veil has been pulled over your eyes once again. My sympathies. Two, three, four, 5. Can these both be dark? Yes. Probably. Maybe. Can this be dark? If this is dark... Okay, we're taking this one to paint. If this is dark, these now have 3, so need at least 1 more there. This now has 5, so needs exactly 1 more. And that could be here or here or here. Both of these are now on 4. So could either be dark, dark, or light, light, dark, dark. It cannot be dark, dark, because that would leave a 2 region 5. So these have to be light, which means dark, dark down here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this has to be sealed off. And this is now either a 6 or a 4. Does it go up or down? Either these are light, or these are both dark. I mean, I guess it could be like light, light going straight down all the way. So this could be dark and then light, light. That's still possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this needs 1 more in a direction of some kind. It could be this one. And then we have dark all the way around to make 5 for this. Or dark and then light one of these. That's really flexible for this. This could just go anywhere at that point. What about these? Both of these have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So both of these need 1 more. So it's either light here and dark, dark. Or it's light here and dark, dark. But both of these are now 6s, guaranteed. So if it's light here, dark, dark, this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, At this point, this has 6. So as it stands right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, this needs to be sealed off there. That's the trick. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this needs to be light. So that's dark here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this needs 1 more. Required. Could be this one. Could be this one. Could go either way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, this is resolved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is resolved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is resolved. 4, 5, 6. This is resolved. This one still needs 1 more. This is resolved. This still needs 1 more. If this is dark, what happens? If this is dark, it has to go like this. Which looks like a solution? Yeah, looks good to me. Bingo. Well, that's fantastic. That was the thing. Excuse me. Oh, thank you. More miracle cubes. Heck yeah. All right. If this is... So I came here because I was trying to resolve a mystery. And I ended up doing logic grids instead. Oh, it's late. I gotta stop. I've got stuff going on tonight. Okay. I was actually planning on stopping like a half hour ago, but here we are. Game's still good. All right, cool. Still stuff to do. I was worried that I was going to be like out of things that I wanted to accomplish in this game. And that has not turned out to be true. That is very much not turned out to be true. So definitely going to be more of this in the future. But that is going to be it for tonight.